Good morning. This is Joanne Eisen with Reach the Unlimited, the place for badasses to get together and strive and reach for those highest goals and those highest achievements that you've always been wanting to do. This is a place to explore and expand all of your thoughts, all of your dreams, and all of your desires, and reach for them and go for them. I wanted to pop on this new format. I decided not to do video today because I just wanted to do audio, see how that works. And I want to thank you guys for being here and listening. For all you that listen to this, I appreciate your support. For all you that don't, I still appreciate your support. I appreciate everybody being here. I wanted to come on and talk about gratitude and how important gratitude is. So I did the Facebook Live last Thursday solo, which was an interesting experience. When I first started doing Facebook Lives with guests, I'd never done anything like that before. I have no experience in communications, like I've said before. I have no experience in public speaking. I have no experience in actually having my life be so public. So it was a slippery slope at first. I did it off of my main Facebook page. I woke up one day and just decided I wanted to do some Facebook Lives and interview people. I've always had a passion of researching and searching out for different people that do different modalities and really showcase the people that are really ethical and have done the work, have done what they needed, and training and experience and all of those things that make a good, well-rounded professional. And so that's part of why I did this. And eventually I'd like to, which I've said before, I've had a couple people that have been working with me in doing basically a website where you could go to and trust the people that are on that website because they've been looked at and talked to and explored and know that they're really doing what they're doing and they really are good at it. Another story. Eventually that will come. But that's why I started the Facebook Lives, was to kind of talk to people and bring people to the audience that can be trusted, and not that can be trusted. And so that's been my journey. That's why I started it. But I have not done a lot of solo Facebook Lives. And so I'm starting to do a few more of them because I know it's important and I have things that I want to talk about. I have opinions and beliefs and desires and, definitely I have strong opinions about things. I've taken a very interesting journey. Sometimes I feel bad because when I do a Facebook Live on my own, I'm a little more guarded. And I'm hoping that in this recording versus a video that I'll be a little more calm and a little more open. But, I've been through my own journey, and it has been a very difficult journey, not one that I would undo because I've learned a lot. But I've had to grow and see things differently in my life, and that's been a good thing. I've done a lot of training, which I've talked about. I don't need to talk about anymore. I've done a lot of training, a lot of my own work, my own hard work. And one of the things that happened that I noticed after the Facebook Live on Thursday is I haven't, what I call a rabbit hole. I haven't been in my rabbit hole in a while. But I went into a rabbit hole, and I had some good friends that helped me to see things for what they really are. And, we all do messy things. We all do things that are not the perfect way that we would like to see it done, but we do it. And that's one of the things that I did on Thursday. I debated doing it live. I debated whether I was ready for that, because I'm still working and doing my own work. And being public is not one of those things I always feel comfortable with. But I did it. And, it was a little bit messy and hard for me, but I did it. But in the conversation that I had with one of my friends, she was talking to me about how we perceive things and how we have to reword what we're saying. It's totally about a different subject, but how I was wording it in a way that was negative. So I really thought a lot about that since our conversation, because even though I've done a lot of work about what you think you create, even though I believe that and know it and I've done my work around that. I'm usually very careful about how I word things. There's certain things that we take for granted or that we don't pay attention to where we are talking in a negative way. So I've had to examine that, and I had a lot of epiphanies over the past couple of days through that meditation and examining and pondering and talking with spirit and working through that. And so one of the things that really hit me this morning that I wanted to come on and talk about was gratitude. Sometimes in our life, we are working so hard to make changes that we see are important to make, or we are working so hard to change our life, or you name it. There's so many things in our life that we do that we're trying to overcome, we're trying to change, we're trying to adjust in. And I think that we get so deep into that we forget about how good our life is. And it really struck me this morning about how gratitude changes everything. If you're appreciative of the things in your life, the blessings that come towards you, the opportunities that are open to you, the the fact that you breathe every day and you get another day to learn. You hear the birds singing and it's telling you that this day is good. And that with the birds being taken care of and all the animal kingdom being taken care of, so are we. Every day we're being taken care of. There's a lot of people in our world today that are suffering and have really difficult and hard lives. And most of us here in the United States have really good lives. And there's varying degrees of good, I get that. But we can sometimes get so overwhelmed in our head about how horrible our life is instead of appreciating the good things that we have in our life. And when you start appreciating the good things, then you start seeing opportunities for you to even do more good things. You start seeing life as an opportunity to grow and expand. You start seeing things in a new way and in a new light. And I really had to ponder about that this morning, and I really wanted to share and talk about that because negativity brings us down. It's a lower vibration. When we're talking about something and we're looking at it in a negative way, then we're closing that door to expansion and learning and seeing things in new ways and in new opportunities. I know that I talked about being a part of this book that's going to be coming about, the Kindness Crusade. And I never would have even guessed that I would do something like that. And it was through someone through Facebook that I connected with that connected me with this opportunity to do this book with Kim Richardson. And she's done a couple books actually. And she said that she would come on as soon as we get closer to the date of publishing this book and do a Facebook Live with me. But it's such an opportunity that even I took for granted in so many ways. I was into my head and I wasn't sure about my story that I wrote. I was really nervous about it. I still somewhat doubt. Instead of enjoying the experience of being able to be a part of this book, being able to write it, I had moments where I was just, and all of us do this. I mean, we have this opportunity and we want to do our very best and we freak out or we don't think we're good enough or we doubt our abilities. There's so many things that get in the way. But when we're in gratitude and we trust that we're doing what is in right action, then things open up. So I really was pondering this morning about just the gratitude that we should have every day in our lives, but that we forget to have. And when we do have that gratitude in our lives, how many other opportunities can open for us and how we can see other opportunities in such a beautiful way. When we're in a negative way of thinking, then we can't see what's in front of us. We can't see other avenues or doors that can be open. So gratitude is so important. And one of the things that I was thinking about after my conversation with my friend was that you either look at the negative or you look at the positive. You either see life from a negative or you see life from a positive. And we do slip in and out of both of those. But the more we practice living our life in the positive, seeing things in the positive, knowing that all things are going to work out. I was talking with somebody I'm going to have on a couple days ago about empowerment and how empowerment is so important. And, you know, what we think is what we create. I mean, that's such an important part of what I really want to bring in this platform is what we think we create. And sometimes we don't realize that we're thinking negative things because we have justifications for it. There's a backstory to it. There's so many reasons why we would justify staying in the negative. And sometimes it's such a slippery slope that we don't even realize that that's what we're doing. That was what one of the things my friend was talking to me about. I had been in this story for so long that I forgot I was looking at the negative instead of the positive because it's been my story for so long. And it did, even though I am very aware of what I think I create, I was still in that negative way of thinking because it was my story. And I have to change that story because I am getting the same thing over and over and over again. Every time I try to handle this situation, I'm getting the same results because I'm saying the same words and I'm acting in the same way and I'm pushing the same story. And the person that I'm reacting to or interacting with is reacting to me in the same way as well because we're doing the same thing. I know one of the biggest decisions that I made in my life, biggest decisions, came when the definition of insanity just kept on rolling through my head over and over and over again. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So how do you change it? Well, that's what we do here. We realize that we are in a past story, that we are familiar with it and comfortable with it, and that it's staying in the same direction because we are comfortable with it. And it's not until you get very uncomfortable with something that you finally see the way and finally decide to change. And that is what happened to me over this trip that I talked about where I was helping my daughter. I really saw things that I was very uncomfortable with. And I needed to change. I needed to make these changes. And in this particular situation, it was scary for me to think about doing that. I mean, we all have things in our life that we're scared to do because they're big and we have all kinds of scary things that we do for all different kinds of reasons. But for big ones, it's because we're afraid of what we don't know. We're afraid of what could happen or what we don't see. And so that's one of the biggest things that hits me and that keeps me in the place that I'm in. I have such a beautiful life. I have so many beautiful blessings in my life. And yet I'm pushing and pushing to change it in a way that's not beneficial to me because I'm pushing and pushing instead of allowing it to happen, taking the steps to go forward, actually doing what I help other people to do. I mean, it's so funny when you talk about practitioners because all of us are living what we're going through, right? We teach people how to make their lives better. We teach people how to shine a light on things that they need to see. We teach people how to rise to that highest level that they can rise to. And we do the same thing, and it's in degrees. I mean, even my mentor, I've talked with her a couple times and helped her out of a tree because we all help and teach each other. It's not bad. It's a beautiful thing when we can look at how we help each other. I love my friends who are honest with me and brutally honest at times with me. And, you know, in the past, I would have gotten mad or stomped away or felt like, you know, you just hate me or you're just picking on me. No, it's that they really love me. They really love seeing the changes that I've made. They really love to see that I can be a better person than I am now. And the same with me. I love them. I love being able to lovingly support them and help them to see things in a way that's going to benefit their lives as well. And that's what we do for each other. Even clients that I have, I learn from them. I learn from the work that I do and how to be a better person, and maybe ways in my life that I need to shine a light on. And I think the biggest thing in our life to shine a light on are the things that we're ignoring because we're comfortable, the things that we're ignoring because we feel safe. And those are the things that we have to work on. Those are the things that are important to go back and see what needs to change. And a lot of it is just a matter of going back to your story. What were you taught? How did you develop that story of thinking? We're never stuck in anything. We're never stuck in a situation that we don't want to be in unless we choose to be there. And the more that we can see that we have that power, excuse me, I had to pause, I had to sneeze. The more that we can see that power and know that we have that power, the better off that we are. We have so much more power than we allow ourselves to have. But it's our thinking of our old stories that keeps us where we're at. I have a lot of stories. A lot of us do. I know that I was talking to my mentor a couple days ago because I had an epiphany about a story that I had about somebody in my life that I realized was my story. It wasn't the other person's story at all. And I think a part of it too is we create these stories to protect other people or to help other people or to heal other people, because usually people that are going to be a part of this group are people that are empaths, that are, caregivers. And as a caregiver, you want to help everybody. You want to help people to not have bad things that happen in their life. You want to help people when you see that they're going down a wrong road, not to take that road because you see the end result. But every person has a path to take that's their own, and we can't stop that from happening. So we have to trust that we can live our own life and they can take the direction that they need to take, and everybody's going to be okay. And we can support each other through those ups and downs, through those rocky roads that somebody else may go through or that we go through. So it was eye-opening for me to see how this one person in my life I was really protecting. And I didn't need to protect this person. And not only was I protecting this person, but the reason that this person's fighting against me is that they're worried about me. They're angry at me and they're worried about me. So a lot of times when we can step back and not be so involved on a mental level, but we can spiritually look and see what's going on in their lives, we can see the whole picture. We can see what's really going on. And that, I've talked about meditation and how important meditation is. Meditation is so important for bringing ourselves back to center and knowing who we are as a human being and being able to see the picture from a different angle. So all of this all comes back to each and every day having gratitude for everything that is in our lives. We in America especially have such a way better life than a lot of people in this world. And I think that we take that for granted. And there's a lot going on in the world right now, and it can get overbearing and overwhelming and hard to deal with. But we have to trust the system. We have to trust that things are going to work out. I think I got off the track when I was talking to this empowerment lady. We were talking about who's going to be coming on. We were talking about either you believe or you don't believe. There's no middle line in that. That has been a phrase of mine for a long time through my growth of really of deep diving into who I am and why I am and the work that I needed to do and why I make choices that I make. It really is about believing or not believing. You can't be in the middle, because if you're in the middle of believing, then you're in the side of not believing. You cannot have both. They cannot both be there. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I think that it was something that was really heavy on my heart this morning, as I think what really started this whole thing as I was reading about how many people in the US today cannot pay off their credit card bills. They cannot pay off their simple things in life they can't pay for. And I know that gets overwhelming and it's hard. I mean, we all worry about the financial, are we going to be okay, and all of these things. But we are taken care of each and every day. I'm going to go back to what encourages me every day. And as you've been hearing through this, airplanes flying and dogs barking and birds singing, because that's real life. The birds sing each and every day. The sun comes up each and every day. And we have good times and we have bad times. And it's how we get through those times, who we have around us during those times, and how we see the world that will really dictate how we come out on the other side. And if you're really striving to make a life that is better for you, then you have to change those old stories. You have to shine a light on the things that are not working for you and see it for what it really is, and be grateful for the lessons and the experiences and the opportunities that come your way. If we're not in gratitude, then we're going to miss it. If we're not in gratitude and paying attention to it, we're not going to see it. There's so many opportunities that come in our lives that we don't even know are opportunities, and so we bypass them. So keep your eyes open. Be grateful for the things that are happening in your life. Listen to the universe as the universe is leading us, because the universe is constantly leading us. Just try to stay in the positive. See things in the positive. Be grateful for everything that happens in your life, and then you won't miss them. You'll be able to see them. It's when we start vibrating in that lower vibration of negativity. It's when we start thinking the world is against us. We start thinking this is never going to happen to me. Start thinking that I can never have, I can never do. Never is a big word of negativity. I can't and never should not be in our vocabulary. Unfortunately, I think sometimes it's too much in my vocabulary. So take on this day, make it a good one. Look for the good in your life. Watch as the beautiful sky is blue. Hopefully it's blue in your area. And do the badass things today that you can do. Be that badass that you can be, and own your own badassness. Own it. Stop caring what other people think. Stop caring what other people see you as. Be you, and change your story even around that. And have a good day, and thank you for listening. Bye.